Alrighty, gamers, welcome into Nosaj time. Welcome into Retro Time. I am Nosaj Time, and let's get into the gaming news today. So, all right, one moment here. Why's my camera blurry up here? There we go. That's better. All right. So, right. I haven't really looked into anything yet because I woke up a little bit late and kind of running behind. AJ, like, what's going on Google here? All right. So, I'm not gonna read any of the Black Friday stuff. So you guys can obviously go do that yourself. I'm not gonna sit here and read about it because we are in Black Friday right now, and it'll be late. It's a little late for me to read this, and then you go out and run and get the item. All right. The next three Epic Game Store titles have been announced. Marvel vs. Capcom inspired four-player co-op tag team beat 'em up Jitsu Squad and Arena Fighter Mighty Fight Federation will be free to claim on Epic PC Market from November 30th to December 7th. They will replace Deliver to they will replace Deliver Us Mars, which is now free to claim until November 30th. Sequel to the award-winning Deliver Us the Moon, Deliver Us Mars is an atmospheric sci-fi adventure offering an immersive astronaut experience according to the Epic Game Store listing. The Epic Game Store, which has yet to turn a profit since launching in December 2018, has a rival to Valve's dominant Steam platform, is currently holding back Black Friday sales, running until November 28th at 8 a.m., 11 a.m., and 4 p.m. 5 p.m. The promotion features unlimited discounts, limited 33% discount eligible transaction. A 33% discount will automatically be applied at checkout to most products or baskets that add up to at least $14.99, $11.99, $14.99, or local currency equivalent. For example, the discount will be to purchase Remedy's Alan Wake 2, which was published last month by Epic for $33.99 slash $26.79. Normally $49.99, $39.99, $39.99. Oh, they lowered the price down on it. I didn't know that. Epic hyping plans to end Fortnite's current season, which... Alright. So it looks like the article ended right there. Yeah, I think that article ended right there. Epic writes their articles weird, so you'll be reading it and then it'll seems like it's going on, but it leads into like some other article you continue to read. RoboHop Rogue City surprising success proves there's still room in the business for mid-tier games with good license. Natcon has announced that RoboCop Rogue City, the future of law enforcement shooter, is its best ever launch, racking up more than 435,000 players and 2.7 million game sessions in its first 2 weeks of release. RoboCop Rogue City has exceeded our expectations and achieved a genuine feature as far as Natcon is concerned. CEO Alan Fowl said, "We are proud to have been able to work with the studio Tyon on this game. On this game created by and for RoboCop diehards. We would also like to thank MGM for the trust they placed in us throughout this collaboration, as well as the players who have contributed to making this release such a great success." The PC version of RoboCop Rogue City holds a 75 aggregate score on Metacritic, which seems about right. We scored it at 65% in our review, praising its fantastic shootout, but knocking it out for dull narrative and bloated pacing, which is an issue for a game spun out of a movie that's a lot smarter than it might first appear. Ultimately, Rogue City doesn't rise above its B-game status in the way the RoboCop transcended in B-movie origins. Still, it's nice to see that a mid-tier shooter like RoboCop Rogue City can find success successfully when trying to muscle into an already crowded field just a week ahead of launch of the genre dominating Modern Warfare 3. Natcon isn't Activision, and so it's not an apples to apples comparison, but I'm glad that there's still room for so-called AA games, and the smaller purchasers can do well with them. Let me open my window up a little bit, or open up my sheets. All right. Right, let's see. Excuse me. Developer Tyon actually had similar luck with its previous game, Terminator Resistant, another mid-tier budget licensed game that holds a very positive rating across more than 10,500 user reviews on Steam. The big question is now whether the success of RoboCop Rogue City opens the door to more in the form of expansion or full sequel, or even just a game plus mode that some fans have been asking for. At the very least, Natcon's happiness with the game sales would seem to make the outcome a real possibility. RoboCop Rogue City is not part of Steam's autumn sale. It just came out a couple weeks ago after all. But if you're waiting for a deal, you can pick it up at a 33% discount on Epic Game Stores thanks to those reusable coupons in the Epic Black Friday sale. All right. All right. So I am gonna read this because some people might want to know this. All right. The list of available titles for the upcoming Free Comic Book Day (FCBD) has been released in addition to expected Western comic book titles. There are plenty of titles to appeal to manga fans. To with comics based on anime and games, there is going to be a lot of otaku to choose from around the world next year in May. The official list was released via the FCBD official website last week, which lists all titles that will be available for anticipating retailers in the end. 48 different titles were selected, broken into gold and silver tiers of sponsorship. Among 48 titles, there are quite a few big names in the manga and anime industry, as well as a few based unpopular video game series. The complete list will also be published in the December issues of Diamond Comic Distributors Preview Magazine, which released on November 22nd. FCB has been around since 2002 and was originally made to try to draw people in to visiting independent comic book stores. It is meant to appeal to both longtime comic book fans and those curious about getting into reading comics. As the name suggests, it is a chance for people to get a free comic book to try a new series or read an exclusive story from a series they already love. Now, over 2,000 independent comic book stores participate in FCBD, and it has become an international event, even inspiring the same kind of event to take place on a non-English speaking country as well. Yeah, I remember when the first free comic book day came about. It was back when Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, actually launched. I don't know. I actually found myself going into comic book stores because that inspired me to read comics. And then as I got older, I just kind of stopped reading comics. And now looking at everything, I'm not really into the idea of wanting to read comic books much now because of the fact that like everybody's just messing up the comic books now. Like we're literally seeing comic books. I don't know about the comic book industry so much, but I've been seeing things from a perspective where people are now making it into like this huge. It's like a huge joke compared to what it used to be. I'm like, there was actual like, I forget what I read like a brief strip of it, but it was like a story about how like just somebody pissed on somebody and it pissed somebody off. And it literally was the premise of like a whole scene of people just getting mad at this person pissing on people. It was weird. In the gold sponsor titles for 2024, Otaku can look forward to an issue from Pokemon Adventures Omega Red and Alpha Sapphire. In the silver category, there are even more titles for Otaku. There are Ganaball, which is inspired by a live-action drama Disney Plus. Initial D, I remember that one. That one's a show about cars and drifting. Gotchaman, Street Fighter versus Final Fight, and One Piece Ace Story. These cover a pretty wide range of interest for love of video games and anime alike. And with titles both old and new to bridge across age gaps. This year's FCB, the spokesperson Ashton Greenwood, said the variety of this year's comic books selection is really exciting. There's something for every kind of fan, from long-term readers to the comic book curious. While Free Comic Book Day is often targeted more at fans of franchises like Marvel and DC, this year there is more variety than ever before. This is great considering the point of FCBD is to draw in new people to the industry, so offering something that appeals to people that prefer manga to Western comics makes the event even much more wide reach. The challenge that FCBD will likely encounter is that it is hard to market to people that do not already go to independent comic book stores. This is especially true with manga fans who are unlikely to visit a store that specializes in Western comic books. FCBD will have to do plenty of marketing between now and next spring to make sure that everyone who may be interested in this great selection of titles knows about the events and realizes that there is something for them available there if they really want to draw Kotaku fans in. Stores that historically have had little to offer to them. Free Comic Book Day 2024 will be held on May 4th, Star Wars Day, 2024. Be sure to check out your local independent comic book store to see if they will be participating in the event, so you can grab the titles for you are looking for. Alright, so May the 4th of next year, look forward to this. Alright, so people in these Reddit pages sometimes they put the weirdest stuff in there, and then I see it, and it's one of those things that like it's just kind of weird. Um, that people are putting stuff up. Like I read some things on Reddit that aren't even posted in mine. I'm like, whoa, hold on a minute. I didn't sign up for that, you know. And so I look at it this way. I see that a lot, and I unsubscribe to it. I don't ever. What is this? I just now. Is that a new button? So you're allowed to. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. I've never seen this done before, huh? I'm looking at something on my hold on. For Ireland in there also. And that's crazy. You can promote this. So you can promote your stuff across the, this is new. They must have just added this in. So you can promote your stuff through the YouTube website. promotion view is counted every time someone clicks to watch your promotion. This isn't a total of all views your video gets on YouTube. Your promotion performance will be optimized to see your promotion may spend more on a day. And so let's see something. I want to see something. I want to see this. So I wonder if I lower it. I wonder how much that's. See, the thing YouTube is doing right now is something that I saw them do. Alright, that's not too bad. So I'll just think about doing that in the future. I'm not gonna put too much money into this, but I do want to keep seeing what. All right, so that's not too bad either. You can get a couple of views for a few bucks by promoting a video. Okay, so that works. I'm gonna actually look at that in the future. I didn't realize you could promote videos like that. So YouTube has a thing now where you can promote your own videos through a YouTube system. YouTube's trying to make their money back, and it's kind of good for people like me, especially somebody who is sitting here struggling to, but putting money towards it, it kind of sucks, to be honest, to put money towards, something you put up, or like I can go out and promote my stuff all day long, but YouTube's making it so they make money on your end, and then, it's weird because all the big content creators, they already are getting paid through YouTube, but I'd like to see the smaller content creators start to get paid, in general for paid in general for like what they do. Let me see something here real quick. I wonder if you can full on promote your page then. See, a lot of what's going on the internet today, and a lot of what I see is going on the internet, is a lot of people are like, that's why, like, they're making it easier for people to cheat. The last time I started doing well, YouTube knocked me down because they were like, "Oh, you're cheating." So, and it sucks because I'm literally like dying to get followers and nothing's happening. So, I don't know. YouTube's weird. YouTube's turning into something else that I like. It's gonna eventually get to a point where it's gonna turn into something else, and then people aren't gonna be making stuff for the platform anymore because it's pretty much turning into a form of like these other apps like Twitter and all that, and it's getting to that point where like, you know, promoting yourself by hitting a button and paying a small fee is, if I could pay like a small fee a month, like, let's just say pay $5 a month and, have my videos get increased, that would be incredible, but they don't have that selection there. That's something they should think about. Um, Left 4 Dead prototype builds accidentally leaked by Valve. An early build of the original Left 4 Dead has accidentally been leaked by developers. Valve, for many, Left 4 Dead is still the benchmark of the co-op shooter despite many attempts to replicate its magic elsewhere. The title, titles such as Back 4 Blood. Now, gamers have a sneak peek into some of the game's earlier technology. The strange leak comes just a few months after Valve released a surprise update for Left 4 Dead, 14 years after the game originally released. Yeah, I remember Left 4 Dead was pretty popular back back long ago. and now nobody really talks about it, but it's still a pretty popular game. It's still one of those highly talked about games left in that it's still one of those popular games that are talked about in that small series. So Valve released a surprise update for Left 4 Dead. All right, 14 years after the game's original release. While it was mostly small fixes. It's good to see the studio supporting the game for as long as it remains active. Valve has a history of this. It also continues to support the 16-year-old Team Fortress 2, which remains one of the most played games on Steam. Most developers would have abandoned this title after such a long period of time, but that's why Valve remains one of the most revered studios in gaming history. Footage of the earlier tech was posted on Twitter by content creator Gabe Fowler. It seems the prototype titled Terror Strike was accidentally pushed as an update to Counter-Strike 1.6. After the game was recently updated to fix some unintended bugs caused by Half-Life 1's 25th anniversary patch, Terror Strike has never been previously featured in any Counter-Strike game, and it's currently unknown how Valve managed to push it during the update accidentally. Alright. The game itself is fascinating to watch for many fans. The players run around in a blocked out map, chased by zombies using the Counter-Strike counter-terrorist model. What is perhaps the most interesting is that the players actually plant a bomb in the same area that gamers do in Counter-Strike. This causes an audio cue similar to Left 4 Dead hordes. So it seems the bomb feature was not just a Counter-Strike holdover. If this had to come to fruition, it would have been a massive change for the players eventually to get in 2008. While looking at old prototypes is fun, it's no secret that fans of Left 4 Dead franchises want a sequel going forward. Earlier this year, a Left 4 Dead reference was also found in Counter-Strike 2's files. When the game's beta was released over the years, there have been icons of small references like this making their way into Valve products, although concrete news from the studio has been completely radio silence, with no indication if or when a sequel is on the way. 2009's Left 4 Dead remains playable after all these years, with gameplay that holds up, an active community on PC. Hopefully Valve can break that 3 curse and give players what they want in this instance. Alright, so yeah, that game's pretty popular. I still remember that one being released. It was this and Left 4 Dead 2, and I think maybe, I don't think they made a Left 4 Dead 3, but I remember Left 4 Dead actually, coming out, and like everybody loved it. All right. Apparently there's a lot of zombie games going into like these games, so Dave the Diver, you've been down too long in the midnight scene. In case you're wondering, that the original song to that is Holy Diver. Just remember that. Dave the Diver shows off new zombie game. South Korean developer and Nexon subsidiary, Mini Rocket, has revealed its next game, Nakwan Lost Paradise, a zombie survival adventure that's a marked change for the company previously released Dave the Diver. The survivor extraction will pit players against but zombies and other players in a PvE experience where even fellow survivors must be defeated in order to acquire necessary food and gear. Nakwon takes place in Seoul, South Korea, after a zombie apocalypse wipes out much of the population around the globe and leaves the rest scourging and fighting for survival. There is one shelter still standing in the city, and players must venture out to find valuable sources while also avoiding the roving zombies and sometimes hostile survivors. In a recently released video, developer Mintrocket shared some pre-alphabet gameplay footage of the game in action. Nakwan is falling for more of a realistic feel, diverging from the cozy pixel art graphics of Dave the Diver, armed with a third-person perspective, a backpack, and a baseball bat in a post-apocalyptic setting. The footage may call to mind games like The Division or extraction shooter like Hunt Shadow Showdown. Other than the story synopsis and what shows in the teaser trailer, the gameplay video, much like not much else is known about the Nakwan. For the moment, it currently is whistled on Steam, and a pre-alphabet test is scheduled for November 23rd, December 4th. It is currently unclear what other platforms the game will be released on, if any. Stumbling over my words right now. All right. Minitrocket, previous game for its part, has been experiencing some controversy recently. Dave the Diver was nominated for the Game Awards Best Independent Game category. There were numerous fantastic indie games released in 2023. The development team, who undoubtedly worked very hard to create a high-quality and award-winning product, unfortunately, Dave the Diver was not one of them. Having been developed by a subsidiary of Nexon, one of the more well-known and wide-reaching publicly traded video game publishers, and many people have questioned how this fact was not known by the people who decided the award nomination. The situation is unfortunate because the game was a huge and unexpected success, even for director Xiao Huang, and many have had a chance of winning if dominated in another category. The game sold 1 million copies just 10 days after launch, and Dave the Diver is currently one of the highest rated games of 2023. The adventure title puts players in control of the eponymous protagonist, a deep-sea diver, which manages a sushi restaurant and must keep it stocked with fish. A simple premise opens the door for engaging gameplay with exploration quests and research tasks. Alright, so alright. Been down too long in the midnight scene. GTA's actor swatted while never mind. I'm not reading that. That's just stupid controversy. I wonder what the amiibo does. Alright, Zelda Tears of the Kingdom player uses Ganondorf amiibo and instantly regrets it. Alright. One player has discovered that scanning a Ganondorf amiibo into Zelda Tears of the Kingdom can cause a nasty outcome for Link. Tears of the Kingdom has a wealth of new game mechanics at its disposal and readily support amiibo figures, which allows players to nab useful items such as weapons, armor sets, or unique glider patterns. Nintendo amiibos originally launched alongside the Wii U version of Super Smash Bros. In 2014, and the figures acted as companion fighters for Nintendo's brawler. With the release of the Switch, the implementations of the physical figurines has dwindled, with only the major release like Splatoon 3 still readily supporting amiibo. However, one player has found that scanning Ganondorf, the antagonist, into Zelda series can yield some unwanted effects. I bet you it dropped a bunch of gloom, but I'm not sure. A user named Kevin Spanish on Reddit uploaded a video showing why players should be cautious about tapping the Ganondorf amiibo into Tears of the Kingdom. The video shows an unlucky situation where a bomb barrel spawned directly underneath a metal treasure chest. When the two objects collided, this triggered a large explosion with Link firmly in the blast radius, suffering a lot of damage. So, let's see. That's rough. Why would you put that in an amiibo? What would be the point of that? He didn't suffer a lot of damage. He suffered a couple hearts, but like, let's see. He had a couple hearts. Alright, we're gonna take an actual look at this again. So, let's watch it from the beginning. Alright, so he had a couple. Alright, so he did... Alright, so never mind. He did suffer quite a bit of damage, because it was all the way up here. Or actually out here. I don't know how many hearts he lost, but he lost quite a bit of hearts for that one. So... That's... Why would you put that in amiibo? I don't get some of the point of, like, why would you do stuff like that? What else does Ganondorf do, though? It makes me wonder. The comments underneath are mainly Jova telling the original poster that they should have expected such an outcome from Link's longtime adversary. You know, and it just goes to show you that, like, that's why, you know, there's no real purpose of Ganondorf's amiibo unless there's something else there. Other replies reiterated that while there is always a risk of a bomb barrel spawning, Ganondorf amiibo also generates a special glider fabric for Link, and it is still worth scanning into Tears of the Kingdom, despite the risk of Link's health. It's certainly not the first time gamers have unintentionally put Link in harm's way while carrying an unlocked special item to take to the Demon King. Another Tears of the Kingdom player had an unfortunate Octorok encounter while trying to repair a weapon on Death Mountain. The gamer allowed Octorok to devour a hammer infused with silver moblin horn to repair the weapon, but as the enemy was returning the improved item, it managed to one-shot Link and send the unwitting player to the game over screen. So yeah, there's a special thing where you can do with Octorok that they repair your item, and I think that could be what he was trying to do. So that's probably why he did that. Despite their mishaps, players continue to find new ways to enjoy the vast open world of Tears of the Kingdom. including one ingenious trick to quickly solve the President Hudson signed puzzle throughout Hyrule some months on from its release. Tears of the Kingdom is still a popular source of entertainment for fans, and it looks set to remain as such for a good time to come. So yeah, 7 years in the making. We're not even through the first year, and we're probably like, this game came out in May, so May, June, July, August, September, November, December. So we're about due for the 6-month anniversary of this, which is pretty incredible, but we still have a long way to go till the next game even remotely comes out. And I'm sure we're going to see remasters that come out after this, and then we'll get to the next game. I'm sure it's going to set place in this storyline, this whole, like, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the King storyline. It wasn't specified yet, and as far as I remember, there was no alternate ending or no extra ending after the credits in this. But I'm gonna play the game again at some point, and I'm gonna go back and try to like actually collect most of the hearts this time. And I want to try to go about it differently this time, because the first time through it was difficult, and that's the thing is, like, the first time through it was hard, and it's because it was my first time through. But now I'm mentally prepared a little bit better, that I'm probably gonna go back, play it again, and do the extra stuff, do the extra side missions this time and all that, just to try to like win the game a little bit or a lot easier next time. Like, I'm planning on putting a lot of time into the next run through, because so we'll see. Right now we just seen a bunch of games drop, so we're getting ready to go into a point where games are going to be scarce for a little bit, which Nintendo in January, they'll have their next direct, which is a given. And then after the January, usually we end up like waiting a few months for games to come out, and then that's when I'll probably start playing. I'll probably play in between here and there. Like, I want to go back through the Xenoblade Chronicle trilogy in order, so that might be next for me. Well, actually, I got Tomb Raider down there, and I got to finish out Super Mario. So I got 2 games to play through, and then Super Mario RPG, I want to get Liza P. So I got a lot of games that I want to work on playing, but I want to get back to playing this again at some point. So, oh my god. Please don't tell me this is Machine Gun. I can guarantee you this is Machine Gun Kelly, and he's not a famous singer, he's a famous rapper, okay? Famous singer really wants to play Link in the Legend of Zelda movie, right? Yep, this is about Machine Gun Kelly. Alright, I'm going to definitely give my take on this one. This man does not deserve the role of Link. And there's a lot of reasons why. I can surely tell you he just wants the role because he's trying to get himself into acting. He's trying to get himself into a movie career, and he's using Legend of Zelda as a footstool for that. And I don't want him having this role. And there's a lot of reasons why I don't want him having this role. Specifically because this man probably doesn't know jack shit about Tears of the Kingdom. I'm not gonna lie. Machine Gun Kelly would probably be the worst selection ever. Alright. So, with the casting from the upcoming The Legend of Zelda action movie still up in the air, Machine Gun Kelly, a well-known fan, what does this guy even know about this game? What does he know? He probably can't even come up with a whole theory. Alright? Oh my. This is the problem. Okay, this is my problem with having this movie. You got everybody out there saying, well, I'm a fan. And then you got people being like, let's make Zelda movie into a musical. This is why I don't like this. This is why I don't like when things go to movies, because you got people claiming they're fans, people wanting a certain movie. It just looks like a bunch of dumbasses just saying a bunch of dumbass shit. Like, seriously. Alright, Machine Gun Kelly, a well-known fan, I hate saying that, has thrown his hat off in the ring for a chance at the film's lead role. So, I can guarantee you'd ask him, what game did you play? He'll give you one of 2 answers, because they're both mainstream. They'll give you, Oh, I played Ocarina of Time. Or he'll be like, I played Twilight Princess. He did, and if you ask him, a lot of these people upset me and they annoy me because they'll say that. Those are the main two games they always say. But you always forget that Spirit Tracks, Phantom Hourglass, Link's Awakening, A Link to the Past, a Link Between Worlds. I'm trying to remember. There's a whole bunch of games out there. Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons, Minish Cap. There's a whole bunch of vast variety of games out there. Wind Waker. Majora's Mask. But the one I noticed everybody saying the most, and it drives me nuts, and it's a good game, and I know that, is the fact that everybody will sit there and be like, well, I played Majora's Mask. Yes, everybody and their mother fucking played Majora's Mask. I mean, not Majora's Mask, but Ocarina of Time. Everybody and their mother played Ocarina of Time. It's a given game. It's one of the only games that everybody actually said will sit there and say they play. I can guarantee you, if I sat down and had an interview with this guy, he would tell me he played Ocarina of Time. That would be the first game he would go to that would be like, oh, I played Ocarina. Everybody played Ocarina of Time. Everybody played Ocarina of Time. But when you sit down and ask him about other games, A Link Between Worlds doesn't come up in anybody's vocabulary, not very often. And that's what upsets me about people like him, is he probably knows nothing about A Link Between Worlds. A Link Between Worlds is probably the third greatest game in the Zelda franchise, considering the fact that I really like Majora's Mask. But for me, there's a set of games in the Legend of Zelda sphere that I really, really like. And I will say that they set well with me because I remember how well the stories were. Alright? A Link's Awakening is another great game that was released in this series that is not talked about, even though it came out not that long ago, a remaster of it. Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons. I played a little bit of that. They're good games. I just wish they would remaster them. But yeah, people gotta stop coming in and being like, yeah, I'm a well-known fan. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you are not. Stop saying that. People get into this stuff by saying that. So what's gonna happen in the next couple years is everybody's gonna sit there and say they're a well-known fan. And what I hate to do is I probably won't even I love Legend of Zelda, but we're getting to a point where it's turning into like a Star Wars, where people that didn't originally like Star Wars are planning on going to see this movie. It's a bit to draw people into playing the game, even if they never played the game. So, The Legend of Zelda is one of the Nintendo's flagship titles, so it didn't come as a surprise when it was announced earlier in the month that Nintendo was teaming with Sony for a live-action Zelda movie. And it had been in the works for quite some time via the social media account. Shigeru Miyamoto, one of the co-creators of the franchise and a producer on the upcoming adaptation, however, no casting for the project has been announced, likely due to the strike keeping talks from happening. While fans enjoy customary round of fantasy casting, one expected name has been added to the shuffle as a popular rapper turned singer, Machine Gun Kelly, who recently appeared alongside Logan Paul as a WWE 2K DLC, indicate that their interest in talking on film lead role as Link, posting to his Instagram. We got Logan Paul talking about this too? Both of you. Get out. Go. Leave. I don't want you guys in here. I don't want you talking about this. Dude, there are so many other people in the world that I would give this role to, but not these two knuckleheads. These are the least people. Nintendo's gonna go through and they're gonna be like, I guarantee you, Nintendo isn't gonna even remotely think about these guys. There's probably some better guy out there that Nintendo is eyeing up, to look at these roles. You know, somebody who really, really knows it, somebody who has been playing the games for years, you know, stuff like that. You know, and you know, the problem with these people is they want to pretend they know everything, and this is part of the problem with creating stuff like this. All they need to do is put a bunch of new actors in for the role because they'll be excited instead of Machine Gun Kelly or Logan Paul or anybody like that. So, posting to his Instagram, the star uploaded a screenshot of an announcement graphic for upcoming adaptation of with a caption that reads, "If I don't play Link, we have a problem." Fuck off, Machine Gun Kelly. That's the problem. I won't have a problem with you not playing Link. I won't have a problem. You're the problem, Machine Gun Kelly. Get the fuck out of here. Alright, get the fuck out of here, dude. Seriously. This man acts like it's gonna be the fucking end of the world if he don't get the role. I will be applauding somebody that gets the role besides Machine Gun Kelly. I will be applauding that. While there has been next to nothing by the way of details announced concerning the script of casting for the upcoming film, it's safe to assume that the 33-year-old Machine Gun Kelly getting a role is a bit of a long shot. Goddamn right, it's a long shot. Nobody wants to see this man get this role. The whole comment section is like, what, you dressed as Link, you tried to dress as Link, you don't even have the right attire on, dude. You could have made chainmail. You and your girlfriend here always talk about playing D&D. You should have known how to make chainmail at least. That's why I don't fuck with chainmail. But these D&D dorks, these D&D nerds need to step away from bothering with Legend of Zelda. It's not worth it, okay? While the musician isn't the first who comes to mind when thinking of Legend of Zelda franchise or Link, Kelly is a long-time fan of the franchise and even cosplayed Link for Halloween event in 2022 alongside his partner Megan Fox, who rounded off pairing with cosplaying Zelda. Despite pulling off the look unexpectedly well, his enjoyment of the game series is unlikely to serve as sufficient incentive to overlook credential choices other than Kelly, a more likely candidate who expressed interest in the film Breath of the Wild actress and music Patricia Somerset. Yeah, she is the only one I would want to actually play as Zelda. I said it before. The voice actress has expressed her desire to play Zelda in a live-action adaptation. While it is always fun to see what celebrity fancy themselves as actors when a new project is announced, the casting decision is one that Nintendo or anyone involved will take lightly. The Legend of Zelda movie may change Link forever, thanks to the potential for, what does that say? What does that say on there? Ruinous damage to beloved, a highly profitable core IP. There's little doubt that whoever does get the role will be someone with notable talent and industry experience. The live-action Zelda project has no release date given. So my thing is like I don't foresee him getting this role, and nobody actually does, and that's why, even if he's screaming at the top of his lungs wanting this role, the man's probably not going to get the role. And first of all, let me just say, anybody can say they're a longtime fan, but ask them about lore from the movie, ask them about lore from the games, and stuff like that, before giving this role out to anybody. Alright? And we already know that there's a good chance that Link may not be the same after this, and that's why I am going into this a bit differently than most people would, because, if I go there and I watch it like once, and, there's a lot of stuff in it that may make me be like, okay, I'm gonna watch this once, and that's gonna be it. Like this Mario Bros. Movie. I only watched it once. After that, after a few months of it being released and it did good at the theaters, everybody just kind of I guess it depends where you're at or like what you look at on the internet, but everybody had like forgotten about the thing existing. And so it's become one of those things that like everybody may see this and then just turn around and forget it even existed. And this is, and who knows what happens after this movie is made. You gotta, and if they give us a story that's not of any of the games, I think we'll be fine. So I'll probably go and see it, but I'll probably only see it once because I know how I feel about it, and I know going into it, I have myself prepared for like whenever the movie comes out, you know. Um, I don't really care for the idea of people wanting it and people wanting it to be made in a movie. I sat on the fence about that for a little bit, so I think I'm gonna stop there. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop there. So I'm gonna talk about that a little bit more. There's a lot to that for me that really, really is just I don't want to see it be done for a lot of reasons, and it's because growing up and me spending a lot of time with the game and then seeing how the game is and remembering all the stories and having the book that's behind me, the High Roller Historia, that was a big sign that like I was prepared to destroy people and lore. Some lore I don't know, but there's people out there that are just big as fans as me, and what ready to line you up to correct you. That's just how we are. It's like a Star Wars fan or something like that. You'll get corrected, okay? And when you sit there and you look at the whole thing, you have people that are younger coming into this and just trying to hop aboard the fan train, all right, the bandwagon, and it's not something that I'm particularly a fan of. It's one of those things that like when it comes down to it and you think about it, you see these new people coming aboard, and you see a lot of people just coming in, and you really start to see who has actually play these games and all that. And that's why, like, for me, I just have a bit of an issue with it, and I really don't want it to happen, but I know right now it's kind of a reality and people are ready for it to happen. But at the end of the day, I don't want it to happen. I still don't want it to happen. And it's just there's so many people going around now saying they're fans of it and stuff like that. Where was this fan base at before the movie was even announced? Where was it? Where was the fan base at before before Tears of the Kingdom came out? Where were you guys? Where were all you guys hiding? Because if you like Tears of the Kingdom, maybe you should go back and play some of the other games. Skyward Sword has a great story, but the mechanics are still not my favorite, and there's a reason. It's still not gonna make. It probably has made the top five. I just have to go back and relook at it. But I think for me, you know, the reason I think for me, I think for a lot of people, I think for a lot of people, you need to go back and look at what we're getting into, and understand why people like me exist, and are a little bit irritated and mad about the whole thing, and then maybe get a perspective as from where I'm coming from on it, and try to understand it. But all right, so I think I'm calling it there for the day. Um, yeah, I'm pretty much gonna call it there, and I'll be back on Monday with the news. This week has been kind of weird, and yesterday I didn't do the news because it was Thanksgiving Day. Um, I think I think in the future for Christmas, I think I'm going to avoid I think I'm gonna give a break on streaming the news like a day or two in advance, and then I think I'm gonna make a whole like couple days off for this, so that way like I can you know take time to recuperate and get myself back to normal. Like I should have taken a couple days off for this, and I thought about it this morning because like I was struggling getting up. But anyway, I'll be back with the news again. I want to say Monday, yeah, on Monday. So, all right, guys, take it easy and have a wonderful day. Keep gaming. Enjoy your holiday weekend off. Yeah, get full. I don't know. Take it easy.